Hey, good afternoon, folks. So tonight I thought for an easy weeknight meal, I was gonna try some air fryer mini meatloaf. I'm actually gonna make it in the quick cooker springform pan because this fits in the air fryer. It was being discontinued at the end of August, so I'm not sure if it's still available in the outlet or not, but it's a great size, or you can just make mini meatloaves and form them yourselves. I just thought it was easier to use that. Okay, so I needed to have for this recipe, which I will provide to you as well, it was half a pound of lean ground beef and half a pound of pork. I don't need either of those meats, so I'm just substituting with some ground turkey that I got at Costco. And then it needs 3 ounces of chili sauce, which I'm also not going to use because my kids don't like spicy stuff. So let's move on to the 1/3 cup of chopped bacon. So let me just switch this down a little bit, get my big old hand there. Oops. Not sure if you can see. Sorry about that. Okay, so what I've got here is some bacon that I already put in the air fryer. I'm just gonna chop up with the Santoku knife. As I mentioned, or maybe I've mentioned before, you've heard me before, this is a really good everyday sort of knife that I find extremely useful. I have 2 of them because I always find one is dirty when I need it. And in fact, very occasion, one is dirty and I had to go for the clean one. So I'm gonna cut that up. I guessed at 3 slices of turkey bacon. Again, I don't eat pork. So I've substituted for turkey bacon into about a 1/3 cup. So let's just put that in here and see how that looks. The mini prep bowls are good at providing measurements on the side as well. It has the 1/4 cup and the 1/2 cup. So I know it's gonna kind of be between those two. So, I mean, I'd like to eyeball things a little bit. I'm sorry, you can't see, so there we go. Yeah, it's about 1/2. So I'll dump that in. And there we go. Okay. So next, what I'm gonna use, put in here is 3/4 cup of cheddar cheese. It says sharp, don't have sharp, just have cheddar. And this is our new adjustable coarse bake grater. It's great. Has the cover for protecting in the drawer from your hands. Unlike the other version we had prior to this new September catalog, this has a little button that makes it really easy for making it flat if you want to put it over a bowl to do it, or if you want to make it on a stand. And then of course it also has the holder for it, so you don't catch your fingers. So you just scoop it into the hole, and then it just, there's little bumps here that keeps your item that you're grating, and then it just slides right on the grater. So it makes it handy if you're like me, you won't end up with knuckle scabs or something like that, which is not pleasant. I can attest to not doing a very good job of that. But like I said, you can do this over a bowl. So should I want to pull out, this is my 3-cup prep bowl. I could put it over it and it sort of holds there. Totally up to you what is easier for you. So pull out my cheese. And I'll cut a chunk off here. Well, actually, I'm just gonna go like this, just because it's already in a chunk. And grate away. I'm not left-handed, so this is probably the wrong direction to be going, but if you can see, it grates quite easily, so I'll just come on and off, so very handy. So I need 3/4, so almost a full cup of that. So let's see if we can get that grated up nice and quick. The other option is we have a quick prep food grater that also works quite handy. I don't own one of those, but I've heard it works quite well. Okay, so, oh, see, my daughter's coming to visit me. Mommy's just busy doing something, honey. We're not going anywhere, honey. So there we go. We've got about 3/4 of a cup of cheese. Maybe we can go to the park. Interruption. So there we go, 3/4 of a cup. So we'll dump that on in there. Okay. And then I also need 1 egg beaten, and a 1/4 cup of panko breadcrumbs, which I'll have to get in a second. I don't have, but in the meantime, what I do have, this is not in the thing, is I'm gonna throw in some kale and fiber to get some extra fiber for my family, which I don't know if you struggle making sure you get enough. Put that on in there. I'm hoping that the barbecue sauce will cover up the color, because I find kale with ground turkey is visible. I'm not sure about ground beef because, like I said, I don't use ground beef. And then I also need half a teaspoon of onion powder, seasoned salt, and garlic powder. So I've got seasoning salt, so I don't know if you've used that. So here's the seasoning salt. So I'm just gonna scoop out half a teaspoon of that. And then it said onion powder, so I'm gonna substitute in our 3 onion herb, because it tastes much better than just onion powder. It's got some chunks of onion in there. And then the other thing is half a teaspoon of garlic powder, so just gonna use our garlic rub instead. Again, some nice chunky pieces in there. Gives it a little more texture. There we go. And then I also need a tablespoon of Worcester sauce, which I also do not have, so I'm gonna skip that. And then I need half a teaspoon of prepared mustard. So I'm just gonna use my adjustable measuring spoon that you just saw me use for the spices, also for that. Right. All right. Okay, so the next thing I need is to beat an egg. So let me grab an egg. Okay, mini whisk, which I love, and an egg. So I'm just gonna put that into the prep bowl I already had out. Break the egg, mix that on in there. There you go. And then since I was so well prepared, I'm gonna go and grab the breadcrumbs and meet you back here once I pour them. Okay, we're back. I have mixed up the mixture here. So everything is nicely mixed after I put the breadcrumbs in. And now I've got the springform pan that I'm gonna spray. So again, or not again, maybe you haven't seen it. This is our kitchen spritzer, the newly stylized one. There's a fill line here, and every time you use it, you just pump it up. Because at the end of each use of using it, you need to make sure that you've untightened the collar or twisted it loose. That way the pressure won't round out the bottom, and then it also just makes sure the longevity of it will work better. So you just go until you get some resistance back. Gonna spritz the little pan, has a nice mist to it. Depending on the oil you use, it'll be mistier or not. There we go. And then I'm just gonna pour that in with the new mixing bowl that I may have showed you, or you may have seen in one of my other videos in the last week or two. So I'm just gonna move that in there, and I'm just going to push it in. As you will see in the recipe that I post with this video, it actually calls for mini meatloaves, but like I mentioned at the beginning, I'm just going to make it into one sort of meatloaf pie. So I've now pushed it in there. There we go. It says to do a little indent and then pour that barbecue sauce in. So I'm just actually gonna spread it nicely on the top instead though, just because I don't have mini loaves that I'm using here. Okay, so I need a 1/4 cup. So I'm gonna use the measure all. This is just the regular size. And I'm gonna switch it down to the 1/4 cup line that you see there. And I'll pour in some new thing of barbecue sauce. Whoa, I was lucky it didn't all make a big mess of me. What I quite like about these measure-alls is that, well, you can see the measure and you can use it for both solid or sort of like, you know, peanut butter, those sort of things, soft solids, as well as liquid measured. You can just push your whatever you're measuring out with the other end, or just pour it out if it's just a liquid. So this being barbecue sauce, I could just pour it all out and make sure it all comes out by just pushing it. These I tend to not put in the dishwasher because I'm afraid that with the heat of the dishwasher, the two will all of a sudden no longer work together because one will get too big or one will get too small with the heat because they are plastic. Okay, so we'll just slide that on off. And then I'm gonna just spread the sauce on the meatloaf here to make it sort of like a pretty top. There we go. Actually, you know what would be better if I used the basting brush, I think. Grab that. Okay, so there we go. Just gonna spread that out nicely with the basting brush. Also another one of those must-haves for your kitchen. I find I use this a lot for so many things, not just spreading barbecue sauce on meatloaf. Okay, so there we go. There we have it. So now we need to pop this into the air fryer and cook it for 400 degrees at approximately 10 to 12 minutes. Now, considering this is not for smaller items, I'm gonna bump up the time to 20 minutes and check it then. Okay, so I'll be back. Or actually just walk over with me. Sorry about this. I'm clearly not the best videographer, but we're gonna try that. So I'm gonna put in a tray to my air fryer here. You can see it fits quite nicely right on the rack. There you go. Pull it forward. Turn it to air fry. Bring it down to 20 minutes. And I'll give it a shot and check it then. So we'll see you back in 20.